Today we're going to be reviewing a absolute gem of a game. Have you ever played a move, an idea that Stockfish did not even know was winning until it computed it and then was like, whoa, you're a genius, respect. That's what happened in this game. This game was played in 1925 between Edwin Adams and Carlos Torre, the first person, the first Mexican given the GM title by FIDE, I think in the 70s, an honorary title. Let's get into the game. It was a 23 move game. There was 5 brilliancies. There was 5 queen sacks. You'll get what I mean when you see it. So we got e4, e5, knight f3 attacking the pawn. You guys have all seen this, I hope. And pawn to d6, not the game. I hope you guys haven't seen the game because it's insane. I just saw it. I know it's famous, so I should have seen it. But I was like, whoa, this is crazy. So we get a Philidor. This used to be the meta back in the day. The light squared bishop becomes open. The dark squared bishop becomes closed. That's why it was the meta back in the day and not today. Pawn to d4 striking in the center. We get pawn takes. Now you couldn't recapture with the knight or the queen. Both are fine. The knight is more popular. But principle is made to be broken, right? The exceptions will always destroy the principles. So we get queen takes d4, bringing the queen out early. He's ready. She's ready. So this queen pins the bishop to f8, has to guard g7. You might be like, whoa, I'm just going to kick your queen out. What's the move that has to be played by white here that prevents the queen from being kicked out? Bishop to b5, pinning the knight to the king. Now we do get bishop to d7, and now you do need to worry a little bit about this queen being taken. So just snap off the knight, right? This is beautiful chess. Back in the day, it was so simple. It was like this. The queen is safe now in the center because it cannot be kicked out by a queenside knight. It's doing a job. It's opening up the queen side. Maybe we can castle queenside. It's quite flexible on which way you can castle. So really depends on your mood. Depends on the day. Depends on everything. Maybe what you ate for lunch. So we get knight to c3. He's like, I'm just going to guard this pawn twice because I know that black's going to attack it twice. And now I'm chilling. That's not even a threat. He does castle kingside. And we get bishop to e7 trying to castle. What do you do in this position? Well, just about everything is just as good. So he chooses knight to d5, jumping his knight into the center of the board. The point is that if knight takes knight, we get pawn takes, gaining a tempo on the bishop. And then when the bishop moves, you'll win this pawn on g7 and black's king gets stuck in the center. Not so much what you want, right? So what do we get instead? We get bishop takes knight. He's like, okay, I'm going to solidify your pawn here on the light square. And what are you going to do about it? White's like, I have a space advantage. Black's like, you have not the greatest pawn. White's like, your king's in the center and I have the open e-file, right? Imbalances have not really been created, but they always exist. All right, so he castles. White goes bishop to g5. And here, black plays the move pawn to c6. What I looked at when I reviewed this game was the move pawn to h6, which I was actually happy is the best move. What should you play as white here? You should retreat to d2. Be honest. Would any of you do that? It's a hard move to find. But let's look at the move bishop to h4. This is what I calculated when I looked at the move h6. I was like, oh, it's one of these things where black can takes on d5. And I really delved into it to figure out what the board was looking like at the end of it, right? Because you can't take the bishop because then this is the famous trick as old as time. Knight takes back, black wins a pawn. So you have to take the knight, at which point they take the bishop. You take the bishop, they take the knight, you take the pawn. So material is balanced. How do you evaluate this position? Well, white has 2 pawn islands, black has 3. So you would think white is better, but not so fast. Black has the open B file and the already connected rooks at which it will come with a tempo. So let's say black plays the move queen to c4, aiming at c2 and protecting c7. I would imagine white would offer a queen trade. It's very good to study these types of things because if black takes, obviously white is better because now the pawns are disconnected and your rooks are more coordinated. You have the semi-open A file. You're applying pressure. Apparently that's equal, but any person would play that as white. And here, I think any person would play black because you have the B file with the tempo gain and it's easier to coordinate your rooks. And your queen is, I think, is better coordinated. So I would give black a slight pull in this position. So that would have been a dry game for the way to continue. But that is not how this game continued. It continued with the move pawn to c6. You could take or you could solidify. White's like, I'm going to solidify my pawn because basically we both have isolated D pawns, but mine is on the 5th rank, which means yours is on the 6th rank, which means I have a space advantage. So White is claiming he has the advantage simply because of space, simply due to space. Black plays rook e8, claiming the semi-open e-file, as does White right back. Black goes a5. All right, a weird move, but let's think about it. Why would your opponent play a flank move like this? Could it be because he wants to move his rook on the a file off of a8 so it doesn't need to guard the pawn on a7? I think so. I think Black did not want to get his a pawn taken, so he pushed it in order to move his rook. White goes rook e2, beautiful, provides defense and provides doubling on the e file. We get rook to c8. Look at that, prediction of the year. Not like I've seen this game before. Yesterday, for the first time ever, can you believe it? I bet more of you have seen this game than me. I really hope not, because look at this game. Rook to e1, doubling up on the e file. All right. Black's like, I'm just going to go queen d7, and it is the best move. Now look at this. The engine, all right, now it's going up. Before it wasn't. It's 1.6. This is really like +7, this position. So I want you guys here to find the winning move. The winning move is bishop takes f6. This innocent looking move. It looks like it does nothing. It looks like it gives Black a bishop and gives you a knight on a semi-open board, which is not great. What does Black have to do here? He actually has to take with the pawn, which just looks ridiculous. Because you're going to get a knight on f5, you're going to plant a knight on f5, you're going to plant a rook on the g file, and you're going to checkmate Black. It's just what you're going to do. But instead, Black took with the bishop. Find the winning continuation. Look at that. It shows plus 0.4. It doesn't even see the win. All right, we're going to turn on review. And it's going to do that to us because it does not love us. And we're going to go back to it. Bishop takes, queen g4. So anticlimactic. I hate chess.com updates. It just goes to the beginning of the game. There we go. Queen to g4, brilliancy number 1. What is the point of this move? I just got wrecked. The point of this move is if queen takes, rook takes, rook takes, rook takes is back rank checkmate. So, Black's like, okay. I mean, all I need to do is keep my queen on this diagonal guarding the rook. So he goes queen b5, brilliancy number 2. Look at that. Engine still doesn't see it's winning. Queen c4. Can we get a brilliancy for that? There we go. There we don't go. This is insane. Chess.com really is the absolute worst. There we go. Queen c4, brilliancy. Point is, if the queen gets deflected, then you have the same back rank checkmate, and vice versa. It's like the same idea times 2. If rook takes, queen takes, rook takes is back rank mate. I can draw arrows sometimes. So Black's like, I'm just going to go queen d7. Would you like a draw? White's like, no draw. Queen c7, brilliancy number 3. This is amazing. The point is, if queen takes, I could play it out. Rook takes, check and mate. And same thing, vice versa. If rook takes, queen takes, rook takes. I love this game because it's so simple to calculate. So Black's like, okay, I'm just going to go queen b5. Do you want to draw? This is my last offer. White's like, you can keep your last offer. Queen, not to b7. Pawn to a4. That was another winning move. But pawn to a4. Again, anticlimactic. What is the point of this? It's a great move, not a brilliancy. But as you can see, Black is slowly running out of squares on this diagonal. He takes. What's the win? Rook to e4. Boom. The point is, if rook takes, just queen takes. And after rook back, you just take, and mate. Can't do anything about it. Same thing if queen takes, rook takes. If they take our queen, we take their rook back rank. So all these back rank issues are brought to the forefront. We get queen to b5. And after the next move, Black resigns. And that move is queen takes b7, brilliancy number 5. More than 20% of White's moves were brilliancies. And that's amazing in and of itself because you got to get past the opening, which is like half the game. So it's like half of White's moves were brilliancies in the middle game. So again, they just resigned. I don't want to sound like a broken record, but they just resigned because of the back rank problems. So have you guys ever seen this game? I hope not. It was amazing. Thank you guys as always for watching. Thank you for your time. Thank you for everything. Have a great one. Peace.